Hello everybody, and welcome back to another stream. I'm so glad to see you all today. It is just me. Evan's not here. Oh, am I live now? Sorry about that. Normally Evan sets this stuff up, so hopefully I am live. It says I'm live, so if you guys can hear me, the volume might be really loud. I was kind of struggling to figure out how to get the mic to work because it's this weird wireless thing. But I think it works, so there's echo. Okay, one sec. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Echo. One sec here. Let me pull it up on my laptop. Is it like really bad echo, or does it sound like it's looping, or does it sound like it's just loud in here? Testing. Testing. Oh wow, that's a bad echo. Testing. Oh wow, that's a bad echo. Okay. I think it's fixed. Let me know if it's fixed. Does it sound better now? Okay, excellent. Echo is gone now. Okay, don't really know exactly what I did, but we're just gonna hope it worked. So let me pull up. I do have a couple. I do have something to say real quick. Okay, so. Today I have a bunch of these Minecraft sets here, and in here I have a bunch more, but first I want to talk about these three. So I had asked in our Discord, which by the way, if you're not in our Discord, there should be a link down in the description, so go ahead and join that if you want to join an amazing community of lots of cool people. But someone in our Discord heard that I was looking for Minecraft sets and happened to be in the local area, and I was like, hey, can I come pick some up? And I bought these two off of them, and they were kind enough to go ahead and give me this one for free. So I decided that it would be kind of cool to give him a little shout out. He owns a BrickLink store called OC Brick Depot, and that is, like I said, really cool. I like that the community supports us, and totally awesome that he gave this to me. So the least I can do is a little shout out for his store. So if you're looking for Legos, you can go ahead and check him out, as well as checking us out. So yeah, that's really cool. But it just goes to show how cool our Discord is, and they love to help people and can answer all sorts of questions you may have. But the reason why I have these Minecraft sets here, as well as some in here that I'll unbox in just a minute, is because I want to build a Minecraft city. Like a lot of people who collect Legos, they want to build like a big city. I want to build a Minecraft world. So I'm kind of just buying some of these sets, which I'm going to incorporate into the world. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to get around to all of the terrain and stuff, but it's kind of an idea I've had over, to be honest, like the last 3 days. And I was kind of like, hey, it'd be cool. Because Evan's talked about how he wants to build a city, so I'm going to be building a Lego Minecraft world. So let me go ahead and open up this Walmart box here and move these out of the way so you all can see. And I will open this up and look through chat real quick. Echo. Visitant asks why these are always at midnight. Yeah, sorry, it's 3 in the afternoon for us. We've toyed around with the idea of alternating and having like a 10 a.m. for us stream every once in a while. But we just haven't really gotten around to it. But it's definitely something on our radar. Funbrick Creations asks, are Minecraft sets worth getting into for BrickLink? Well, I mean, anything that you can get for a 3 times part out value is good. Some of the retired Minecraft sets do sell for quite a bit. Like there's one, the Cave. I saw that on Amazon for $1,500. Now, obviously, sets on Amazon are usually ridiculously marked up. It trends for quite a bit below that on BrickLink, but still something that you could totally do if you happen to have one of those sets. But in terms of parting out, occasionally we'll do it, but they're rarely on clearance, so it's a bit difficult trying to find deals. The minifigs, in our experience, don't sell super well either, especially not the animals. We actually have over there in our bins some animals, like foxes and wolves and some other Minecraft minifigs that we've had for a long time that haven't sold at all. And hello to Fidel, and hello to Brick on Block. Great to have you here. Also, JB, great to have you back. Vincent, I think I already said hello. Dunder Mifflin Brick Co., you're here all the time, so great to see you. Thomas, hello and welcome. David, welcome. Just a lot of regulars here, so that's totally awesome. But let me pull out these sets here. These ones are newer. Vincent asks, do you think the new Ender Dragon set will go as high as the original one once retired? I don't know. It may. The thing with retired sets is it seems kind of random which sets end up working out. That's why I made a video a long time ago. Now, I'll be honest, it wasn't a great video, and I got some maybe well-deserved criticism in the comment section for that, but my hot take was that it's usually not the best to save sets, and it's not something that I do personally, because I think it's just way too hard to accurately predict what's going to be worth a lot. Now, some things are really obviously going to be worth a lot. You know, things like super limited edition releases, really, really cool, just objectively cool sets, stuff like that. You know, it's easy to tell, but when you're just going from set to set, it's really hard to tell. But Vincent says that he's Mr. Chills a lot. So, oh, hello, you are a regular. Welcome. Jameson Hertzel says, hey, from Trader Bricks. Great to have you here. Fun Brick says he tries to get the 2 times the value and up. Yeah, we try and shoot for 3, but we can't always get that. Raphael, hello. Hello from America to you from Brazil. We haven't seen you here in a while. At least I haven't. So great to see that you're back. Yeah, David West says if you've got money to invest in Lego, buy used. I would totally agree with that, assuming you're trying to run it like a business. I think the reason a lot of people buy sets to save is because they're really trying to, I guess, keep them like you would keep vintage Pokemon cards or something like that. It's not really a business. You're just waiting to sell them for cash later on. So I think that's why a lot of people do that. Brick on Block asks, are you alone today? Yes, very sadly, I am alone today. Evan had an all-day shoot and probably won't be back until like 3 in the morning, so you know, he won't be joining us today. But he was all alone last week, so kind of a trade-off. Hopefully next week, yes, next week we should both be back, and then one weekend in May, it should be Kyle and I. So Kyle will be back from the grave to be on a stream, hopefully. He's really busy with work, so I mean, totally understandable if he ends up not doing that. He's doing great with some of his side stuff, so totally understandable there. But today it's just me. So let me go over some of the sets I have. I keep getting distracted here. Let me try and lay them out in a appetizing way here. Okay. So we've got the chicken coop over here on this side. What is this actually called? a underwater thing. So there's that. This I got just because I needed a couple extra dollars to get free shipping for some reason on Walmart. So yeah, I thought that they always had free shipping, but I guess not. And then I got a kind of villager trading post set here, and then a cave. This is one that I got, yeah, from, whoa, oops, that I got from OC Brick Depot. So, yep, let me pick these up. David West says, yeah, I guess selling sealed set are just like holding assets. Yeah, but the thing is, when you hold something like gold or land, it's not obviously not guaranteed, but the risk is really low. I find with holding sealed Lego, personally, this is my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with it, so don't take this as fact. It's just based on personal experience here. It's way too hard to predict and way too risky. So, you know, I would say do a lot of research into the set and understand that just like anything where you hold an object, you're anticipating that it will increase in value. So, yeah. JB's Brick Kiln says, found one flag last night that I listed for $24.95. Wow, that is a lot for a tiny. Are you talking about one of the little like colored flag things? Are you talking about like a flag with like images and stuff on it? Emery says, I had to buy the underwater one for my sister to separate my parts for me to pay her. You know, always great to try and get some family to help with the store. We just started contracting out some stuff, so that I can understand how great it is to have someone who will work for, you know, a $10 set instead of, you know, an hourly wage. Cynthia says, plus the space to store sealed sets. That is very true. You definitely do need the space to the space for sealed sets. Sorry, one sec here. Evan says to zoom in a little bit on the camera. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. So Evan is with us here in spirit, texting me. So let's see if I can figure this out. I know one of these is focus. Okay, I think that one's focus. This one is zoom. Okay, is it still in focus? I think it's on autofocus. So hopefully it's not super blurry for you guys. Oh yeah, it's in autofocus. Okay, hopefully that looks a little bit better. Evan, is that all good? Let's see, what did I miss here? I'm in live chat, so I should be able to see everybody. I'm doing really great, Arno. I hope you're doing really well. Brick on Block said he's doing good, so that's fantastic. JB's Brick Kiln says the little 2x2 decorated flag with the clips. Oh, yeah. 24 bucks. Wow, that's insane. Jonathan Kennedy says, I think the value can go up rapidly in a retired set due to what happens in the IP. E.g. new Star Wars set, new Star Wars content, Ahsoka minifig price. Yeah, I can totally see that, but it's like trying to predict what is going to happen in the future. Like, for example, power miner sets, probably, you know, that's kind of a forgotten thing, probably not worth a lot. But now let's just say Lego decided to bring it back, then some of those old retired sets might be worth some. But how are you supposed to anticipate that that's what's going to happen, right? David West says, I think there are a few good sure bets. UCS sets, limited releases. Yeah, I was saying that earlier. There are some that are almost guaranteed. If you manage to pick something up at a convention, or it's a UCS, or maybe Advent, but there's so many of them that I would be a bit hesitant on that. But some of those things, yeah, those are totally almost guaranteed. Emery says, yes, Paul, it relieves quite a bit of work. And that was in reference to sourcing out, parting out and stuff. The 21155 is going EOL. It's the creeper mine, just in case you want to get it while it's available. EOL. I assume you mean it's retiring. EOL. I feel like I should know what that means, and I feel like I've seen that 100 times, but it's not coming to me. Do I know when GBL is coming back to YouTube? No, I don't. I haven't talked to him recently. That would be more of a question for Evan. I know those two talk a pretty decent amount, so that would be end of life. Yeah, that's a good tip. I definitely, that is one that I want. So I will grab that off of Amazon or something. So I got to pick which one I am going to be building today. Let's see. So I've got the chicken, this mine, this village trading post, the bees, and the blaze bridge. I think I'm going to save the blaze bridge, and I think I'm going to build the bee one, and then we'll see how this goes after that, and see whether or not we have time to build some more. The whole reason this kind of started is Evan and I have been on our own. It's not a public Minecraft server, so please don't ask, but just on our own, we have been playing some Minecraft, and I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to build some Minecraft sets and build a Minecraft world and stuff, and I need a cutterizer over here, a very technical term, the cutterizer. You know, my whole life I called these X-Acto knives, and I had no idea that the X-Acto knife is actually a super specific type of utility knife or box cutter, and is actually a different thing. X-Acto is specifically a 00 blade, and a lot of these are not 00 blades, and I didn't know that. I just called it all X-Acto knives. Alrighty, so we've got one instruction set, that's good. I probably won't keep the boxes. You know what? I want a tray here. Vincent said you could join my public server. Yeah, we've kind of, I don't want to say anything because then people will expect it, but I think it'd be cool to have a community Minecraft server. But that's not something that will happen in the near future. Maybe, is it Brickitect? I want to say Brickitect has a Patreon Minecraft server. At least they've organized something for themselves. So I think that would be really cool. BG says, technically the creeper mine is already gone by March 31st. Abi's Lego now has more dates throughout the year. Where the take sets from shelves. The recent years it was just, okay. So I'll buy it today off of Amazon then. Thunder Mifflin Brick Co. asks how the new pick path is working. Awesome. Evan does not like the multi-order picking, but I love it. I will say I did make one error, so if whoever is watching that I made that error for, I'm very sorry. But that was the first day I was testing it out, and it did take a little bit to get used to swapping orders. But you know, with some practice and colored sticky notes is what I did, because in Brick Freedom, basically it assigns a color to each order, so I just stick sticky notes with the same color on there, and that makes it way easier to avoid errors. But I love the multi-order picking. It allows things to go so fast, and that really wouldn't be possible. I mean, it would still be doable with the old pick path, but with the new one, it's just so much better. David West, when quarantine says, when quarantine first started, I played Minecraft like 10 hours a day for weeks straight. Yeah, I didn't get back into it until kind of recently. I was just about to start sorting these by lot. Okay, I gotta build a B here. But yeah, I've kind of gotten back into it recently, and it's a fantastic game. They've made so many changes. It's basically a whole new game. Fidel says, I found some vintage sealed Legos at less than half the BrickLink price, so I bought them to keep some as investments and flip some others to get my money back. Yeah, no, that's totally great, because you basically already have guaranteed profit because you're buying them for less than market, value right now. So, that's fantastic. Brick on Block says, I would love a community Minecraft server. Yeah, I'll keep kind of pushing for it behind closed doors, but it would be really cool. But I don't really know if there's a ton of interest is the thing, or more accurately, consistent interest, because I don't really want to set it up and then people play it for a month and then everybody kind of forgets about it. That's more what I'm worried about. Also, it might end up being if hypothetically we did it, it might be a Patreon perk. I'm not too sure, but don't take anything I'm saying here as gospel, please. Did you guys switch from Brickpacker for syncing? No, we were using Brick Freedom we've been using Brick Freedom for a long time. We had tried a couple different options before that, and had kind of just decided to close our Brick Owl store. We have a video somewhere. I don't know if Evan's still watching, but maybe he can link it, explaining why we had stopped doing Brick Owl. But with Brick Freedom, we have had basically no issues, and on the few issues we've had, the guy who runs it is super supportive and fixes things real fast. He's totally open to being messaged and stuff, so it's fantastic. And he's always adding new features. It's amazing. Like, you can look back at your growth and everything from previous years and get this really nice readout of like what kinds of parts sell and everything like that. It's just super cool. Fun Brick Creations says, I'm tempted to buy 2 more Colosseums and 2 Harry Potter castles to have one of each to part out and one of each to save for down the track to sell once they've both retired. I would say that those are probably pretty safe investments. Well, the Colosseum might be here for a long time, so you might need to save that for a while. Oh, I thought that was going to be the head. Here we are. So you might need to save that for a while. But the Harry Potter castle, I could definitely see that being worth a lot. Yeah, we had to close down our Brick Owl, so, but not anymore. It's open now with Brick Freedom. So, okay, I am now building a bee, 4 bees. I don't know if can you guys see the minifigs? Yeah, I've got a villager down here and a bee girl, I think. I remember when these were called testificates. That was a long time ago. Emery Garrick says, if the Colosseum is the next Taj Mahal, yeah, well, it's the same thing with another reason that I don't know about investing in sealed sets is like what happened with the ship, right? The rocket ship. They re-released it, and that kind of, I know, killed a lot of people's investments. And if Lego's willing to do it once, twice with the Taj Mahal, I believe that they rebranded it. It's not the exact same, but you got to be worried about whether they'll do it again. All right, I've got one B down. Yeah, the Saturn V. Sorry if I'm not talking here, but I am trying to build these as well. Some people might wonder what has happened to the gunship that I was planning on building. I'm still planning on building that. I just need to go through and finish counting everything, and that's a lot of work, and I'm very lazy. But the gunship will get back. We will return to that in the near future. Maybe by the next time when Kyle and I stream, we can continue that. Emery says, yeah, I got the ship in a bottle for my birthday from my family members right before it re-released. They got it from Amazon. Oh, they must have paid a fortune for it if they bought it off of Amazon. The Amazon price scalping is real. Like, I'll see some sets on there occasionally that are still in production that people are selling for like 30 or 40% above retail, and it's just like, why? And then some things that are no longer available will sell, like, you might have like a $800 set selling for over $1,000 on Amazon, when on BrickLink it's selling for like $900, you know, or even like a $400 set selling for over $1,000. It's insane. Like the Minecraft cave set, I think it retailed for like $300 or less, and it goes for $1,500 on Amazon, and that's just insane. So yeah, I can't understand that level of price scalping there. I mean, it's, you know, okay to mark it up once it's gone, but if you're marking it up 200, 300, 400%, it's kind of just like kind of mean. And people, I guess, are willing to buy it though, because people are willing to pay that price. But you would think that somebody that is willing to pay that price would go on BrickLink and find it cheaper there, but I guess not. Okay, there are the B's done. So now we can start on the actual main part of the set here. Been a while since I've actually built a set. I de-built the gunship. It's right over there. So sorry if I was pointing and you guys can't see, but yeah, I de-built the gunship, deconstructed, and now I'm building this. But I don't think I've really built anything else since Hogwarts. Real-Time Bricks says hi, hello. Great to have you. Okay, we can put this aside. So how is everybody? I think it's been like 2 streams since I've been on as well. Evan has done a couple. So how has everybody been doing since I was here last? Anything interesting happen? Fixie says hello. Hello, Fixie. In our life, we are now beginning construction on the back room, finally. Oh, the shipping bottle didn't become that expensive after retirement. Okay. That's good, I guess. The Brick Room says, hey, Paul, sorry I'm late. How are you doing? I'm doing great. No problem. We'll still be here for like another hour, maybe a bit more. So, yeah. Vincent, I mean, Mr. Chills a lot. I think last time we had talked, you were studying for some sort of a big exam. How did that go? I want to say that it had something to do with thermodynamics. I remember us at least having a conversation about thermodynamics, but it's possible that they were unrelated. But how did that go? Lots of German going on. I need to go back and relearn German. I used to speak it when I was really, really little, but I forgot it, unfortunately. I think I did this wrong. I think I did do this wrong. What did I do wrong here? Okay, that's right. Wait, no, it's not. That's right. And that's right. Okay. Vincent says he has his next exams in a month already. You're very dedicated to your education. Vincent says also that he had 14 out of 20, which is top 5%, so pretty good. Yeah, that is pretty good. Although only a little bit above 50%. But I guess grading also works differently in other countries. Here in America, anything below 70 is basically a fail. So I know things work a little differently in other countries when it comes to grading. Thomas, thank you for that super chat. You are back again. The rare time when you find something on Amazon is always a limit, like 4 items or so it sucks. Great stream as always, by the way. Thank you so much for this super chat. We appreciate it so much. Really awesome. Thank you. That is a lot of that's a lot of money. So thank you. You really help motivate us to continue doing these streams and continue making our YouTube content, because we don't make a ton of money off of YouTube. So it's always fantastic when people help us out. Not that we would stop making this content, but it's still fantastic to know that people appreciate us enough to put some money behind it. So yeah, thank you so much. Kind of a interesting configuration here on this. It kind of looks like something that you would hide underneath something. Like with a lot of Lego, they use these kinds of colors, like the oranges and the blues, as the inside parts. And I've always wondered why they do that. Is it cheaper? Are those parts, do they have extras? Why do they pick those really bright colors to be in between? That was another text. Let's see what this is. Are those some minifig? I just got a message from someone here showing some minifigs. Are those ones you're selling or your collection or stuff? Because those are definitely some pretty cool Minecraft minifigs, and I'll look at them a little bit more later. But yeah, super cool. Okay, let's see if I can get this through here. There we go. Oh, I think I missed some chat here. Let me just push this through. Okay. What did I miss here? JB says, I went down to Georgia to see my wife's family. Good trip, but bittersweet. Might be the last time she sees her dad. Yeah, that's always really sad, is going to visit relatives, especially when they're really old or sick, and you don't really know how many times you're gonna see them. Vincent says, well, at my school for this course, 70% failed below 10 out of 20. Totally different, I guess, from the U.S. Yeah. Always interesting to see how other cultures or other countries deal with things. Brick on Block says the bright colors are for colorblind people to orientate while building. Okay, that's really cool. I didn't know that. Where'd you find that out from? But no, that's really cool. That's something that I I'm glad that they paid attention to. Funbrick Creation says, I'm going to save up for the castle to maybe get it in a few months, or when I'm aware if it's going to retire, and get the Coliseum near its retirement, whenever that is. Only challenge first is finding the room to store them at my current place, so I might have to buy them after moving within the next year. Yeah, are you moving far, or just kind of a local move? The Brick Room says, hey Paul, DM'd you. Let me know if you want any of them, and I'd be happy to give you some sort of discount. Thank you. I will look over them later and see what the options are. I just took a really quick glance and see what I need. So thank you so much. Okay, I gotta make some progress here because I want to get through like at least 2 of these. So we shall see if I manage to do that or not. Some German Lego YouTuber, Brick Story, tells about those colored bricks from time to time. Huh, interesting. And Jonathan Kennedy says, the bricks are bright colored on set, so you can distinguish when building on top of them with the actual color of the set. Okay, yeah, that definitely makes sense. The Lego engineers think of everything. It's insane. So yeah, no, that's really cool. It's definitely cool how Lego, like, you know, they're a really big company, and I mean, they don't really have a monopoly, but they're definitely a huge toy company, especially with these building blocks, and they could very easily be a really bad company, like morally, but instead they're still like a really honest, and you know, they take a lot of time and spend some money on trying to make their products really accessible, and I think that's really cool because I think that if you're going to have that big of a market share, then you have an obligation to be nice. Hello, NetBricks, and thank you for coming to our stream. Funbrick Creations says, just a local move, not sure when and where, but within 20 minutes of my current place, so I'm close to family. Okay, cool. Yeah, local moves are always cool because you get still the feeling of moving, but you don't really have to say goodbye to everyone. Star Wars designers get a cake for every pink brick in the sets. That's really cool. Yeah, once again, just Lego seems like it'd be a really fun company to work for. Wait, did I skip a step here? Yes, I did. Yeah, Vincent says, sadly you can't invest in Lego stock since it's private. Yeah, that always really disappointed me as a kid. When I was little, my dad was like, I'll buy you a couple stocks, and I really wanted Lego, but unfortunately Lego is private. But I think that's also maybe a good thing because it allows them to do what they want without really having to answer to shareholders. And they can kind of sometimes spend, you know, a decent amount of money on things like accessibility that maybe they wouldn't otherwise. Emery says, Paul, do you think a car boot sale is a good place to source used Lego for selling? Seems like eBay is a ripoff in the UK. By car boot, do you mean basically kind of like a flea market, but people bring their cars and just sell out at the back? If so, then yes. I think that sourcing in person, you are usually going to find better deals. But I believe some people in the Discord were talking about that and had said that it is very difficult to get those deals because people just swarm it. What am I doing wrong here? I have absolutely no concept of spatial awareness, so you shall see me struggle a lot to do very simple tasks here. I, at the age of 21, still have to reach for a pencil to determine my left and right, so yeah. Brick on Block says, NetBricks, oh, that's in German. Never mind. Our name was highlighted, so I thought someone was adding us, but I guess it just automatically highlights our name. JB's Brook Kiln says, from a watching Abandoned, I've seen sometimes going public can lead to some decisions for shareholders. Yeah, totally. And Joey4927 gives a super chat of $5. Thank you so much. And I like the little trumpet dude. Thank you. It's very cute. Thank you so much for supporting our channel. Like I said before, we would not be able to do this. Well, we would continue to do it, but it's really nice to know that we are appreciated by the community for what we do. And it really does just make our day every time we get one of those super chats. Like whenever we get one and one of us is on stream, after the stream we'll like race inside and be like, Evan or Paul, I got a super chat. So it's always super cool to know that you know, people care that much about our content. I'm really glad that we could be of help, Joey. It's fantastic to know that. Which is something I really like about the Lego community is even though technically we're all competitors, we still like share a lot of information and are super helpful to each other, which I don't feel like you can get in a lot of other businesses. So that's another reason why I think the Lego community, specifically the BrickLink community, is just so cool. Real-time Bricks says, I recently built the Scout Trooper helmet and it looks really good. Yeah, is that one of the busts? Is that one of the busts? I've thought about getting one of those, but I don't even know where I'm going to put these. At some point, if you're on Patreon, I will eventually do a day in the life, just like Evan did, and you will see my room then. But I'm in quite a small room, and I really only have one bookshelf because I tend to be really bad at cleaning. So I have discovered that if I don't own anything, then it can't get dirty. So I try and keep my possessions few, and I only have one shelf that I'm allowed to put things on to display, and it's kind of full. So I don't know where I'm going to put these, but they might just get boxed up and go in the attic until I actually get to building the rest of the thing, which hopefully will be in the near future. But yeah, for a bust, I don't really know where I would put that. I've got the head wig, like the little desk head wig thing that I need to finish building. And that will definitely go on that shelf. So yeah, no room for a bust, but I would really like one at some point. Brick on Block says, Lego's one big family. Yeah, I totally agree. JB says, have you seen the Darth Vader bust? No, I haven't, but I do have a laptop, so I can look real quick. Lego Vader busts. Oh yeah, no, that is really cool. It's definitely got a lot of detail, and it doesn't look too blocky. Some of the earlier busts that I had seen were they really looked like they were built out of Lego, but this one seems to have a lot more curves and stuff, so always super cool. The Brick Room says it took exactly 7 seconds for my Discord message to get to you, minus like a second or two, because there's a delay on the stream. The stream isn't instantaneous, so make sure you calculate that in. I think I can actually see what the delay is somewhere here. Evan and I had found it at one point. No, it doesn't say. We're just on low latency. But somewhere it says how much that is. Will you get the new Fox the Phoenix desk set? Gotta Google another thing. But if it's anything like the Hedwig one, probably. I've recently reread. I reread the Harry Potter series like every year. Well, I listen to the audiobook. It always... It's both a really good and a really bad series. Like, she makes a lot of very interesting decisions, but it's still very charming. Fox the Phoenix set. Lego. Oh yeah, that's super cool. I may have to get this, yeah. I gotta figure out where to put it. But after I find some room, I will get that. Funbrick Creation says, I have the London bus, but trying to decide, do I put stickers on it or not? As you know, Paul, I also have a challenge with stickers on Lego. Yeah, I understand on a spiritual level. I think there were 60 stickers on Hogwarts. So I understand on a spiritual level. Brickroom says he already factored that in, about 3 seconds for stream delay. So on my end, 10 seconds for me to hear it. Okay. Interesting. Interesting to know that that's how long it takes. Probably a lot faster than text still. When I text Evan, sometimes it can take forever. JB says, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I really like those sets. Almost got the Hedwig set. Yeah, they are really cool, even if you're not a huge Harry Potter fan. And I mean, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. Like, there are some people out there that are huge Harry Potter fans. I'm not one of those. I just like it passingly. Yeah. Joey4927 says, are the Harry Potter sets selling well? The ones that we parted out back in... that was only like a month or two ago. That we parted out. Has sold... I've packed a couple of the things from that, but... Something I've just kind of discovered about the Harry Potter sets is they take a while to sell. Like, for a long time, we had this entire cup. Do we still have it? We might still have an entire cup filled with Harry Potter minifigs that has just been sitting there since over a year, if it's still sitting there. JB's Brickkiln says, you bought a huge set that was over $200 and you're not a huge fan. To be honest, I actually wanted to buy that set before I had reread the books in a long time, just because it's such a cool set. I love these huge display sets. At some point, I will buy the. If Evan does not buy it, I will buy the Colosseum eventually. Not in the near future, because it's very expensive and I have no money. But in the future, I will buy it. I love these huge sets. Glad to see there's a new R2-D2 set. That one's pretty cool. We have an R2-D2 set somewhere floating around. It might have been sold. I don't see the box. So either it's in storage or it has been sold. Okay, so we've got a little turny thing here, and it does turn, so that's very good. I need a drink of water. Fun Brick Creations says, yeah, 60 or so stickers as I don't know how I survived when I built the castle. You can sometimes see me struggle with it on the videos I've uploaded to my YouTube channel over a year ago. Yeah, I don't know if I'll go check those out. But yeah, stickers are horrible. Son of a Brick says, I'm a Harry Potter fan, but I tend not to be a fan of the Harry Potter sets. Same with Star Wars. Yeah, I can understand. Unfortunately, with a lot of those things, this might just be rose-tinted nostalgia, but I feel like sets in general used to be bigger and cooler when I was little. It feels like a lot of now they're doing, I call them like play sets. I mean, obviously a spaceship that you can zoom around might be called a play set, but like these little tiny sets, basically like this, except for everything, and I feel like they are cranking out a ton of these. For every major genre, which is a little disappointing. I feel like when I was younger, you used to be able to pretty consistently get these large Star Wars ships and stuff, and I feel like that's a lot rarer now. Might just be, you know, rose-tinted glasses, but yeah. Okay. Brick and a Block agrees. Star Wars sets are not as good anymore. Okay, so, excuse me. Good to know that I'm not crazy. NetBrick says, at Just a Brick in the Bucket, thanks for your content. Keep on going. Wish you the best. Thank you. Great to hear that. Mr. Chills a Lot says, even though the Ferrari Technic set has a lot of stickers, I would still buy it. I'm not a huge car person. If they make a Tesla, I will buy the Tesla. But other than that, I'm not really a huge car person. There was one like prototype car. I really like the kind of sci-fi looking things. There was this one like not something they would actually sell. It was more like an art car. I forget who made it now. I don't want to say the wrong company and sound like an idiot, but it was like Avatar inspired, and you would drive it by like moving a ball around, and the seats were kind of like hammocks. I thought that thing was so cool. I would drive that. But other than cars like that, like the kind of really artsy, not actually meant to be driven type stuff, I don't really have a huge interest in them. Funbrick Creations says, it was also cool to wake up to 78 subs, as I had a few new ones overnight. Yeah, that is something that is really cool, is especially when you first start YouTube, seeing those numbers tick up, it kind of slows down. At least it's slowed down for us a bit, but when we hit that first 1,000, we were like, oh, what do we do? Now we're already at 1,500, and we were like, we're going to do a 2,000 subscriber special, and then we hit it, and we were like, we can't. And then we were like, we're going to do a 3,000 subscriber special, and we hit it, and we can't. So we're definitely going to do a 5,000 subscriber special. But, yeah. Lego Joe says, hi. Yes, hello. Welcome. Great to have you. Son of a Brick says, I just want more prequel and Clone Wars sets mostly. Original trilogy sets are boring. I bet you that's a hot take that a lot of people disagree with, but I like the prequels more than I like the original trilogy. So I will put that out there as my opinion. And of course, Clone Wars is the best piece of Star Wars material. I don't really think that you can argue with that if you've seen it. But yeah. Mr. Chills a Lot says he really likes Ferrari. Even went to see them at SPA F1. I assume that's Formula 1. Racing. Okay, that's really cool. I mean, obviously, if you're into it, you know, I'm not trying to say don't like cars, you know, or whatever, but super cool that you're into it and stuff like that. I know Kyle. Kyle is a huge car fan. He knows way more than I do. JB's Brick Kiln says the original trilogy sets are boring because they keep making the same 5 spaceships. Yeah, that is definitely true. Although there really aren't that many spaceships, but I will say some of the original trilogy sets are pretty cool, like the Mos Eisley Cantina, which is something I will absolutely buy. I have hovered over that button and almost impulse purchased it on credit multiple times, but I try not to purchase joy items with credit cards, so I have resisted the temptation, but I've thought about it. But someday I'll definitely purchase that. Vincent says Episode 3 is my favorite, then comes Clone Wars. Yeah, I totally agree with you there. I obviously the Phantom Menace isn't very good, but if we ignore the Phantom Menace, the prequels definitely kind of have, in my opinion, they have a more complete arc. And I think Anakin's story is very good, especially having read the comics and stuff. It does really make Anakin's fall a lot more tragic. And with Clone Wars in there, it definitely makes it, a lot better of a story. So I think, obviously, before people make a judgment on that stuff, they should know the rest of the material. But that's just my 2 cents. Okay, what time is it? I'm getting kind of hungry. Not that I'm going to end the stream, but depending on how hungry I get, because I'm determined to build 2 sets. Even if I'm here until like 7, I'm going to make it through 2 sets. So I might have to order dinner at some point during this. Yeah, the best part about Son of a Brick says the best part about Phantom Menace is all the internet memes that came from it. Yeah, yeah, definitely. r/prequel memes is a pretty good place. JB's Brick Kiln says, I love Empire Strikes Back and Rogue One as far as movies. Clone Wars and Mando are the best shows. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back is obviously considered like a fantastic film, and I would tend to agree with that. As far as like kind of a standalone or like a middle, something that makes it really, really good is that it's a very good movie and it's a middle movie, which is very rare that the middle movie ends up being one of the best movies. And I think that is also what kind of adds, at least for me, some attachment to that. I'm going to insult people here by saying that I haven't seen The Mandalorian, but there's a reason for it. Not because I don't have interest. I want to rewatch all of the Clone Wars and all of Rebels again and then go and watch it. I kind of want to do this thing where I watch the entirety of the Star Wars universe. Not in one go, obviously, but, consecutively and then watch Mandalorian. Mr. Chilslot says, you the fan of the sequels? No. I don't know if I hate them as much as some people do. But there's more bad things about them than there are good things. That's my opinion. I didn't hate The Last Jedi. I didn't hate the Luke arc of Last Jedi. I know a lot of people, including Mark Hamill, really hated that. I didn't personally. But the movie is just, as someone with, I don't have a background in screenwriting, but I know more about it than probably an average person. I've written some scripts. I've been part of a production. So I think while I'm not a movie critic, I can look at it from a bit more of a professional perspective. It's a poorly written movie. It just jumps all. It's about a major part of storytelling that decides whether or not a movie is good is promise and fulfilling those promises. And it's way more complex than people might think. You hint at promises almost accidentally. The reason why people didn't like what's the girl's name? Finn and Rose? Yes, Rose. Rose's storyline is that Finn kept saying, I need to find Rey. I need to find my friend. The whole point of this is I need to get back to Rey. And then they go and ride weird horse, camel, llama things, right? And they go to this casino world. And not Rey, Rose. Finn and Rose. Right? They go to like that casino world and they have that whole like side story. And everyone hates that. And the reason why is because Finn keeps saying his promise is, I need to go find my friend. And then the writers just completely ignore that whole promise. And people get mad. Another people complain about the Holdo maneuver. I know somebody just said something about that. I hate to break it to you. That was correctly foreshadowed. It has existed in Star Wars canon. It happened in the Clone Wars. There is plenty of reasoning behind it within Star Wars physics. Obviously, Star Wars has sound in space canonically, so it doesn't clearly operate on the same laws that we do. So it's important, when designing a fantasy world, it's important not that it follows exterior logic, but that it follows interior logic. It needs to be consistent. And certainly that movie has a lot of inconsistencies in its internal logic. But the Holdo maneuver actually isn't one of those. In Clone Wars, in one of the first episodes, the Malevolence arc, I believe it is the Malevolence arc, they managed to damage the hyperdrive of General Grievous's big ship, the Malevolence, and it activates, but safety protections aren't on, and they do it directly into a planet, and it basically nukes the planet. It's a huge explosion, clearly a catastrophic extinction level event. So there is previous examples of that. Sorry for nerding out on all of that, but it's just something I see a lot of people complain about. And there are plenty of things to complain about in that movie. But ironically, that is internally consistent, at least. Even if in real physics, something becoming massless, as I assume that is how hyperdrives work, that's a problem with the internal logic, is that hyperdrives are poorly explained. The whole jumping to a higher dimension thing is, okay, Vincent does bring up a thing that I was going to mention, but I got sidetracked, is why isn't it a consistent tactic? Poor storytelling, bad writing. That's it. It should be. They should build torpedoes that do that. I don't have any reason for that. It's as to why it's not a consistent tactic. My only argument is that it does follow the rules of the universe. Now, why it is not a weapon? Maybe there's some sort of treaty. Probably not. My guess is they just didn't think of it and they were lazy. It's entirely possible that the team that wrote The Last Jedi didn't know that it actually existed in the world, and it just happened to line up with something that already did. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that was the case. But yeah, I have no excuse for why it's not used in warfare normally. None at all. Oh, but I lost track now of where I was going. Okay, they retconned it into being a 1 in 1 million chance. That's stupid. Oh, I was talking about how hyperdrives work and how the Holdo maneuver could work. It wouldn't. They throw some nonsense at you about going to a higher dimension, and dimensions is a geometric term. It doesn't have anything. It's just adding another axis to a chart, right? We exist on a three-dimensional plane, but we exist in the fourth dimension because the fourth axis is time, right? Going to the fifth dimension just means you're adding another axis. There probably is a fifth dimension. There is a second dimension, right? It's a matter of perception and how you're looking at something. Vincent is a physics student, so if he contradicts me, then I'll go with what he says, because I just know this by listening to lectures and reading. I'm not professionally educated. But my understanding is that it's a geometric term that applies to physics and applies to reality. And so going to a higher dimension, Emery has to go, so goodbye, thank you. Sorry you had to leave while listening to me nerd out, but great to have you here. But to my understanding, going to a higher dimension would not cause hyperspace travel. I mean, I guess you could move along that additional axis at a different rate that you're moving. I suppose that you could justify it by saying that you're moving along that fifth axis at a higher rate than you are along anything else, and then if you can somehow drop back down, you would have shifted on the other axes. But the thing is, if you're not moving on those other axes, then you're just not moving on them. So it wouldn't, I don't know. But the other thing is that basically they accelerate faster. It's a mass reduction field, just like how Mass Effect works, if you've ever played that game series, that it basically just sets something's mass to 0 and therefore allows it to, or it sets it to a negative mass. But that doesn't really hold up either, because then it shouldn't impact something with force. I mean, obviously, photons do impact things with force, but not a lot. Very little. And I don't know exactly, I don't want to say something wrong, so I won't say anything at all about exactly how photons are able to deliver. I don't know how solar wind works in terms of how a massless particle is able to push something other than it being reflected. I could understand that, but even then, how is something that is not moving? Because a photon, it doesn't, I mean, I guess it's moving, but from the photon's perspective, the universe is instantaneous, right? So how it's able to deliver that mass, I don't understand that. Yeah, Vincent then also says, also, I think the weapons we have on Earth are better in a lot of ways to Star Wars. For example, nuclear bombs in the Clone Wars virus episode, they mentioned that they know what radiation is. Yes, however, nuclear warfare has a lot of problems with it. It's if you don't do it very well, it's very messy. I know that nuclear radiation, if it's from a bomb, a well-designed bomb, does not linger long. A lot of people say that, you know, if you drop a bomb on somewhere, it's uninhabitable for 10,000 years. But that's not true. If it's a dirty bomb, yes. If it's a properly made bomb, then everything is there's nothing left. The half-lives are very short. It's intensely radioactive for a very short period of time, but then it settles back down to normal very quickly. Wow, we're at 30 viewers. Viewers have actually gone up since I started talking about this. I should just do a stream where I just talk about nonsense. Yeah, Vincent says a photon could be considered either a wave or a particle. Yeah, that's true, but even when it's a particle, isn't it still massless? Because it's still able to move. From its perspective, the universe is instant, right? At least that's how I understand it, because of relativity, right? So from its perspective, it's not moving. That's what always has confused me. I've tried to actually look at it from a mathematical perspective, but as someone who failed algebra twice, it's less that I can't understand the concepts behind the math, but I don't understand the basic groundwork necessary to actually do the math myself. Yeah. Brick on Block says, I would love to see Elon in this stream, but who wouldn't? Yeah. There's a couple people that I really hope are subscribed to us. My favorite author, Brandon Sanderson, has a Lego collection. I know that for a fact. I seriously doubt he watches our content, but if he does, you should send me a full collection of a full leather-bound collection, if you happen to watch this. I don't know if Elon Musk is into Legos or not, though. If Elon Musk is into Legos, I would really like a Tesla. If you could deliver me a Cybertruck, I would be very happy with you. Funbrick says, I enjoy nerd talk, especially science, math, tech, and Lego. Well, that's good. I'm glad that I'm not being boring about this, because I can just go on for hours about this kind of nonsense. So, yeah, I kind of want to go back and relearn my math, because there's a lot of really cool things. I really didn't like math in high school because I didn't really see the point of it. However, something that I have now repeated to others is to not look at math as this abstract thing, but instead look at it as a way to interpret graphs, because everything that exists is plottable on a graph. Everything is a graph. Math is just a way to compress that graph so you don't have to draw it every time. And if someone had explained that to me, that math is inherently a visual thing, I think that I would have enjoyed it a lot more, because I don't care about doing algebra in the store to figure out how many pineapples and apples I have. I am far more interested in using it for stupid stuff, which you totally can. Mr. Tinkleman says, what's your favorite Brandon Sanderson book? The Many Lives of Stephen Lead is my favorite. Well, not technically a book, it's a collection of short stories, and it's not even in the Cosmere, but I love that series. It's really cool. But as far as actual Cosmere stuff, obviously The Emperor's Soul is arguably one of his best works. I mean, it won a Hugo Award. But if you're looking at like the actual longer books, then Arrow 1 Mistborn. Arrow 1 Mistborn is probably my favorite. I really like Vin as a character. And am I supposed to... okay, I used these. But yeah, as someone who one day wants to be an author, part of the reason why I want to start businesses and one day be wealthy is so that I can be an author and be bad at it, and that doesn't matter. If you are an author who does it professionally, you kind of need to be good. But if you have other sources of income, then you don't really need to actually be any good. You can just do it for fun. And I think that would be really cool. It'd be really nice if I was good. I don't think I'm necessarily bad, but it kind of takes the pressure off. But I would really like to be an author in the future, and Brandon Sanderson is definitely an inspiration for that. So are David Eddings, although his books aren't... I read them when I was really little. They're not actually very good. But there's a lot of folks that are definitely inspirations for that, and Brandon Sanderson is definitely one. I watch his live streams all the time. And I've seen all of his lectures and stuff, and he's super fantastic. Son of a Brick says, the kicker for my favorite NFL team is a big Lego fan. It was pretty cool to find that out. Yeah, there are lots of people that are Lego fans, and you wouldn't really suspect it. Vincent said, I once used different equations to solve what would be the best method in completing the Cayo Perico heist in GTA 5. Yeah, that's awesome. But part of the reason I want to go back and relearn physics and math and stuff is, like I said, I want to be an author, and I want not to be accurate, because obviously that takes some of the fun out of it, but to take internal consistency to another level. If I'm going to, this should go somewhere. If I'm going to be saying that something does not work the way it does in this universe. I would like to know why and what that is going to do to other things. JB says, one of the hosts of my favorite theme park podcasts is a Lego fan. Awesome. Yeah, it's... where does this... There's no way that this is extra. This has to go somewhere. And there's no way that this is extra. Why do I always end up with these extra pieces? With Hogwarts, it was really bad. I'm pretty sure that Hogwarts is gonna like fall apart because of like the missing structural pieces. Okay, I am going to make the assumption that this piece goes here, because that is where I would logically put it. No idea where this goes, though. So, yeah. Brick on Block says, I think someone once said that Elon is a Lego fan too, but please take this on speculation. Awesome. Glad to, yeah, that's cool. Elon, if you're watching, please, I want that Cybertruck. You know, I would settle for like a Model Y too, but you know, if you're just gonna drop off a something without self-driving, though, don't bother. No, I'm just joking. But okay. So I gotta build some more bees now. I lost my train of thought, so now I can't go on for hours. Someone else needs to say something so that I can get back on my rant. The viewers are going down. We're at 29 now. I stopped my rant and it started going down. So somebody needs to say something to irritate me. You know, something that I've always been curious about is like the Lego community and other interests. What do a lot of the Lego community do that they all seem to be into? Evan and I were having this discussion about the BrickLink community and like an entrepreneurial mindset that a lot of people in the BrickLink community seem to be very big individualists. And I was just, you know, I'm always interested in seeing like what ties groups of people together. Mr. Tinkleman says, huge fan of Brandon Sanderson too. I've watched his lectures and listened to his lectures. Have you tried participating in NaNoWriMo? No, I actually only heard about it this year. But it's the whole point of it is to pretend to be a full-time author for a month, and I couldn't be a full-time author for a month. I don't have the hours in the day, but I could do a novella or a short story or something like that. I couldn't do a novel though, but I would be interested in trying it out at some point. I have a bunch of ideas as to types of stuff I want to do, so maybe I could. JB says RPGs seem to be big. Yeah, do you mean tabletop or games? Or video games or both? Because I do a lot. Well, I like tabletop gaming. I can't say I do a ton because it's very hard to get a group together. I'm currently DMing a campaign, and then another campaign just fell apart, and I'm about to start a Call of Cthulhu game. Which is something I've always wanted to do because I love Lovecraft. He's awesome. Well, he's not. He has some very interesting opinions, but his writing is awesome. Yeah, he's another big inspiration in terms of writing. JB says both. Okay, yeah, I'm not wearing my Nier shirt. I was going to wear the Nier shirt because Nier Replicant is coming out soon. I know that's not technically an RPG, but I very much like the Nier Drakengard series a lot. I have a shelf on my bookshelf dedicated to guidebooks and merchandise and stuff. Some might call it a shrine, but I very much like that game series, and I've read the books, the short stories, the plays. I managed to 100% Drakengard 1, which was not something I recommend anybody do. But yeah, as far as video games, RPGs. What is an like a true RPG I have played recently? I don't play as many video games as I used to be honest. Part of that is time, and part of that is interest. I'm a huge fan of the Dark Souls series. I love Dark Souls. I get together with friends and play that every Sunday. But yeah. JB says, I know several people do D&D and several people who play online. Yeah. Funbreck says, I find some LEGO people are also into gaming and tech. Yeah, I'm currently building I guess I should start with some context. I have a lizard. His name is Banana. I have 2 lizards, but the one that's important, I mean, they're both important, of course, but the cool one is Banana. And Banana is an Argentine tegu, and he's about this big right now, but he's going to get to be about this big. I don't know, like 5 feet. So I'm building his new enclosure right now. And it's going to be Raspberry Pi controlled. It's going to have like a humidifier built into the Raspberry Pi. It's going to have all these lighting controls and a water feature and all these kinds of lighting stuff that I can do with the Pi from my phone. So yeah, I'm kind of into that. Although that's something I've kind of picked up a lot more recently. I got into it in order to build the tank. But the tank's going to have like live plants and a pond, and it's going to be super cool. And hopefully Banana won't hate me as much. He doesn't like me. Although we're making progress. I can now say I touched Banana for the first time today while I was feeding him without him running away. So that was a big plus. He doesn't like me at all. He did bite me though, but I think that was confusion because I hadn't washed my hand off after touching the turkey that I was feeding him. So I think that wasn't aggressive, but Brick on Block says, wait, what? Banana is going to be like 2 meters? Yeah, a meter is 3.3 feet, right? So Banana will be less than that. He'll be around 5 feet, 4 to 5 feet once he's fully grown, assuming that he is a male. He hasn't gone through puberty yet, so it's really difficult to sex him. But I believe it's a male. Brick on Block says, what's the other lizard's name? The other lizard is named Reginald, and he is a Crested Gecko, a rescue that a friend of mine rescued from a crack house. I'll just be blunt. That's what it was. And this owner of this establishment had a lot of reptiles, and I adopted I adopted Reginald. He was not fed very well, so a Crested Gecko should be about this big. He's like this big. But he's also very boring. He just sits there and stares at you and doesn't like to be touched, but doesn't do anything if you touch him. He just sits there and stares at you. He's not very interesting, but I still like him, even if he is very boring. I want more, but not in the near future. I would like to get an axolotl. However, axolotls are illegal in California for. I don't know if I want to. That's not really politics. They're illegal because some idiot released like 300 of them into a river. Like, why would you do that? Like, not just one, but like just dumped them in. And they happen to breed with an endangered species here. And he ruined the fun for everybody by doing that. And so now they're illegal. So I probably won't be getting one of those, and if I do, I won't announce it. But I would like if I don't end up getting one of those, I will probably set up a poison dart frog exhibit. I'm going to start farming minnows soon to feed to Banana, to put in his pond. So I will have a minnow tank at some point. Vincent says, I'm planning on using Raspberry Pi as a security system for my fusion chamber. Yeah, those are so cool, the fusion chambers. I've thought about trying to build a home fusion generator. So I that's something that I want to do at some point. It's not actually very complicated. Vincent says, hey, that idiot is me. Oops. They're not, I mean, it's complicated, but they're not like insanely complicated. And I think it'd be really cool to say, hey, I built the fusion reactor, because people assume you're building like people confuse fission and fusion all the time. They assume you did something way more impressive than you actually did. But it's something I would like to build at some point. But probably not in the near future. I don't know what my roommates would say about that. Fun Brick says, I was into tech since a kid, but only got into Lego nearly 3 years ago as an adult and was never into it as a kid. I had 1 or 2 sets, but don't have them. Yeah, I feel like that's not actually super uncommon. He goes on to say, I do still have the family Duplo, which is the next generation of the family, used now. Cool, good that got passed on. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? Oh, Fidel says, axolotl are a very endangered species, but they're pretty adorable. Yes. However, almost all of the ones that are sold in the United States are captive bred. So they're not harvesting them from a wild population. They're breeding them in-house and selling them. So they're not, I mean, they're endangered in the wild, but the pet trade, assuming you are buying from a legal and reputable seller, is not having any impacts on the environment, assuming you don't release your pets like some people do, and then Florida happens, which tegu might become illegal because people have released them in Georgia, and they really like Georgia, and they breed and they eat. They're not very aggressive, but they eat anything that moves, and they eat a lot of it. They can just decimate bird populations because they love eggs. And, I mean, it's a 5-foot lizard. The bird doesn't stand a chance. It'll just eat and eat and eat. So, yeah, there is that. But I do not plan on releasing mine. I will not release mine, and I don't think he can't survive in Southern California anyway, in the wild, so. Okay, this is my bee hive. Come on. Okay, my beehive is built. Hooray. Great Brick Lab says, hey all. Hey, somebody was asking when you were planning on returning to YouTube. I don't know if they're still here, and I don't remember who asked, but somebody did have that question for you, if you're interested in sharing that information. Okay, so, and you are just happening to join right after a very nerdy escapade about light and Star Wars and hyperdrives, so welcome. Vincent says, I think I found a way to make weapons grade plutonium at home, but of course would never try it. I mean, my gut tells me that it's not, well, I mean, it's complicated in terms of doing normal average day people things, but I mean, it's, at the end of the day, it's math and numbers. I imagine that it's way harder to build a machine to do it on a scale that you would need to build a weapons system than understand how it's made. I bet you that any half-decent nuclear physics student could figure out how to make weapons-grade plutonium, but it's a whole nother deal to actually build it and successfully do that. Great Brick Lab says he has no plans to come back to YouTube. Very sad, but I suppose, you know, you can spend that time partying out more, which is, of course, fantastic to growing your store. All right, I need to get through this. Maybe we won't end up building two, because it is it like 5:30 or is it like 4:30? Oh, it's only 4:30. It feels later than it is. Great Brick Lab says we're secretly building a Lego sorting machine. Super cool. Great Brick Lab says, yeah, it was a good... Great Brick Lab says, yeah, it was a good run. We had fun. That was almost bad. That was interesting. I just heard, I wonder if we have a rat. I heard scampering up above the drop ceiling. I'll have to perform an investigation later. Our cat caught a rat not that long ago outside, so it is definitely a possibility. One sec here. Vincent says the calculations for the first bomb on Japan were done by a professor and 2 students over the summer break. Yeah, and I mean, that was the first time that they were doing it. So I imagine nowadays you could probably do it a lot more quickly. Okay, what am I building now? Some sort of window thing. All right, what should I get for dinner, guys? I think I'm going to order something. Fidel says, I've been here the whole stream, but not active in chat because I'm parting out some sets. Very interesting topics so far. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad to know that I can talk about whatever I want and people will listen because you all love me unconditionally. I'm just joking, but it's really nice to know that there are so many people that share interests. Fun Brick Creation says, my dream is to have YouTube and BrickLink as my career and main source of income one day. Yeah, I mean, I think it's totally doable to do that. I mean, we won't hit that point in the very near future, but I think we will eventually, and not soon, but, you know, in the next couple of years. So I think that it's definitely definitely doable to do it full time if you're dedicated and want to put in the hours. But I need suggestions on what to eat. It has to be something that I can eat and build, so not wings. If it's a little bit greasy, that's fine because I can use paper towels to clean that off. But nothing super messy. But I need suggestions. I'm very bad at deciding on what to eat. Great Brick Lab says wings, boneless. Not wings. Fidel says a burrito. That's a pretty good one. That's a good suggestion. I'll keep that in mind. Let's see if anything else comes up. JB says mac and cheese. Okay, that's another good one, but I don't know where to get that from. I wonder if there is some place that sells burrito. And Jonathan says sushi. Sushi I like. Currywurst with French fries. Currywurst. I don't know what that is, and I like things that I don't know what they are. So let me. Oh, I've ranted about this on stream before, that one time I was in England and I wanted to go to this French place and have escargot, and my parents were like, no, because my parents are very picky. And I finally had escargot on my birthday recently. I went to a place and I got escargot, and it was pretty good. So that has been fulfilled. Okay, so far we have burrito, mac and cheese, sushi. Sorry, Great Brick Lab, but I'm removing your wings because I can't make a mess. Burrito, mac and cheese, sushi. Did you mean currywurst? I have no idea what that is. I'm sorry. Chicken tenders. I say have carbonara, sushi, or pizza. I think I'm leaning towards sushi. So, I'm going to put this aside right now, and we are going to order some sushi, because that sounds really good. Although chicken tenders also do sound really good, and I haven't had chicken tenders in a long time. Oh, I was also going to Google currywurst. Let's see. Currywurst is a fast food dish of German origin consisting of steamed, then fried pork sausage, typically cut into bite-sized chunks and seasoned with curry ketchup. Huh, that does sound good. However, I would be kind of surprised if I could get that here. Let's find out. Maybe there's a restaurant near us, a German restaurant called Old World. They might, but I don't think they're on DoorDash. I've looked before, because they have, I don't know what it's called, some German thing, but it's kind of like a sausage, but it's wrapped in like cabbage, and it's quite big, so it's not really a sausage. Like, it doesn't have the skin that a lot of sausages have. It's basically just a big hunk of ground beef, but it's wrapped in this really like good cabbage wrap. It reminds me a lot of like those Romani cabbage wraps. It's really good. Fun Brick Creations was saying foods that you only need one hand to eat with. Yeah. All right, let's check out some. Oh, I'm gonna search currywurst. Yeah, no. Unfortunate. I wonder if there's any German food though around here. Oh yeah, no, that's expensive. Sorry, but the only German place around here is charging $35 for a bratwurst. So no is the answer to that. Sorry. Let's get some sushi. Okay, we shall get from Satoshi. Is there another place that's closer? Okay, we'll go with Nico Nico. Hopefully it will arrive in time. This place is really good, but sometimes it takes a hot minute to get here. Yeah, no, I'll go with someplace a little bit closer. It says it's going to take over an hour, so we'll get something closer. Okay, what do I feel like today? I definitely want something with eel. I love eel. Spicy, yes, okay. I shall get the dancing eel, And I want to see if they have smelt, because I very much like smelt. Yes, they do. They have the salmon roe, not smelt. Sorry, salmon roe. So, yes, I shall get some salmon roe. Yeah, I know. $35. That's expensive. Yes, it's. I don't know. The place that I usually go for German food, Old World, is not that expensive, but they don't do deliveries, so. Okay, the order has been placed. Let's look at chat and see what I missed here. Oh, okay, my mom, Nancy K is my mom. 35 bucks. Great Brick Lab asks, what other topics would you like to discuss tonight? I don't know. That's up to you. Say something, and then I will tell you you're wrong. Fidel, have you ever tried a restaurant named Culichi Town? There's one near Costa Mesa, I believe. It's a Mexican-Asian restaurant. It's basically serves sushi and oriental food in Culiacan style. No, I'm going to write that down, though. I will put that on my phone. I really like to try new things. I will eat a complete serving of pretty much anything I'm offered. So, assuming that it is edible and actually eaten by somebody. So, I will make a note of that. And I shall find out whether there's one nearby. And, we shall see here. Okay. Culichi Town. Restaurant ideas. Okay, that has been saved. Okay, let us continue. I'm going to need to take a short intermission soon here. I'll probably do that when the food arrives, or maybe a bit before. But I'm going to try and get through this set first. I'm almost done here. And then we shall pick a second set, and we shall do that. Yeah, I would also be curious as to whether or not any progress has been made on the AI. I'm in the Discord, actually, but I haven't kept up with it, which I probably should. But, yeah, I would be curious as well if you're willing to talk on that. How is this supposed to work? Ah. Oh, it's not a window. It has a window piece in it, but it's a tree. That is really cool. GBL says, no, unfortunately the developer was in school here. She has the summer. I plan to offer her an internship. That's really cool that you're willing to do that. That is fantastic. Come on, fit, please. This bee is supposed to go inside of this tree, but it does not want to, and that makes me sad. Okay, maybe it doesn't click in. Maybe it just sits there. Maybe it goes in diagonally? Could be that it goes in diagonally. I don't know. But I think, so I guess coming up with something to talk about, I have been playing with AWS recently, specifically Amazon Polly, which is like their neural-driven text-to-speech, and I think that's really cool. Text-to-speech is something I have a mild interest in, and I think that it is super cool what they're able to do. If you use the speech markup language, you can get some crazy sounding voices out of Amazon Polly. Like using the markup language, you can basically tell it like how to pronounce specific words and stuff like that. And why doesn't this bee fit? Is a question I would like Jeff Bezos to answer, please. I just got a message from someone. I don't know if you heard that. Oh, that's not related to this. Okay, did I build it incorrectly? No, I built it correctly. I'm losing my mind. Okay, the bee is just sitting in there. I give up. The bee is happy, and it's going to enjoy just sitting in there, not being attached. Great Brick says we should be able to start in 2 weeks. Oh, that for expanding your store. Fantastic. I believe, well, you and Evan, I think, were talking about that a long time ago. Or a couple weeks. But super cool. We just finished doing this this wall here. We just moved it, and pretty soon I think we're gonna start putting some drawers on the back here, but I don't know what we're gonna do with the logo. We'll have to figure something out for the logo, because it's important that people see our logo. But yeah, now would be a good time for me to do our shout out to our patron, to our Patreon. Please check out our Patreon if you are interested in seeing some more content, as we just revamped it. At least once a week. I don't know if we have a specific day or not, but at least once a week, there will be content coming out exclusive to patrons. And Evan just did a recent video talking about something special, a special toy that we had purchased and are using in our store. So you guys can on Patreon see that, as well as other things in the future. I will be going over the construction of my tank. Evan is or has done a video on his fish tank, which is really cool, and we'll be doing more videos on it in the future. So if you're interested in kind of seeing some of the stuff that we do behind the scenes or just in our normal life, you can go ahead and join our Patreon and see there, and also help support the channel, of course. That was my my little spiel. You gotta have you can't be a real YouTuber if you don't have a Patreon spiel. Okay, so this next tree goes right here. Okay, sweet. Okay, up next, I gotta install, I assume that this is supposed to be like a water spout. This set is very much coming together, and in fact, this is the last page. So what do I do with these other bees? Okay, one goes in the beehive. Okay. One goes on top of this thing here. Oh, and one gets to fly over here. Okay. That is, oh, I gotta put the NPC in, as well as bee girl here. B-Girl stands right over here. And then, where did these go? Assist Official says, I'm already a Patreon, joining you guys at 1:50 a.m. Thank you for tuning into us so late. And great that you are already a Patreon. It is fantastic that you support us. Thank you so much. I might need a brick separator here. Gosh darn it. Unless I can manage to get it off with this. There we go. Okay. There we go. Oh, now I got to get these apart. There we go. Almost there. I'm very clumsy, if you guys haven't noticed from past streams. So I always knock everything over. There we go. Now it can actually be done. Okay. As I break another part. Okay, last B. Hooray. The set is done. Oh. The set is done. All right, so here we are. This is the Minecraft bee set beekeeper. Please stay on. I need to look good for the camera. There we go. The Minecraft beekeeper set. This is my first, well, actually, no, I did own a Minecraft set when I was younger. So this is my second Minecraft set, and the first of many. I have a bunch more floating around here. So I'm going to build another one right after this, assuming we can find something interesting to talk about at the same time. But here we are with this beekeeper set. I'm going to be installing this into my Minecraft world that I will be building out of Legos at some point in the future. So, hooray. Burrito Boys says hello. Hello back. However, you just happened to join us at the exact moment that I'm about to take a really short intermission because I really need to use the restroom. So I will be back in just a moment, and then we will be back in. So let me figure out how to do this here. I think it is. Okay. Hopefully I'm back. Let me know if everyone can hear me. All right, so I actually need a, oh, yes. I actually need a little bag here to put away my extra pieces. Okay, so, okay, excellent. Everyone can hear, or ear me. Let's find out where our sushi is. Our sushi is on the way. It should be here in 17 minutes. Okay, so now we have a very important decision to make, which is which set we are going to build next. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So let me get those. We have the Blaze Bridge, but I think that's going to take too long, so I'm going to disqualify that one. But we have this tiny little underwater one. We have this cave. We have a villager trading post, and we have the chicken coop. And to answer some questions in chat, yes, I do play Minecraft, and I prefer survival. Burrito Boy says, I am British, and we don't have that sort of stuff readily available here. Very funny meme. When I went to England, I did actually go to a Mexican restaurant, and I was very disappointed. I don't know whether or not all British Mexican restaurants are like that, but it was not anywhere close to Southern California Mexican restaurant. Mr. Chills-a-lot / Vincent says, I'm gonna have to go. It's getting late. Bye. Goodbye. It was great to have you on. We talked about some really interesting stuff, so great to have you here, and hopefully you can tune in next time. We'll try and maybe do an earlier stream at some point in the future, so I will keep you updated on that. Okay, so which one do I want to build? Let's see. Let's go by piece count here. 241, 198, 201, and 92. We will build the, I kind of want to build the llamas. We'll build the llamas. I'm going to build the llamas. I very much like llamas. I think llamas are really cool. I want a llama. Who doesn't want a llama? You can train them to spit at people. And also they're very fluffy. So we're going to get started on this llama set here. Llama. I don't know. I've been on stream for like 2 hours, so I'm well past gone. Doing streams is tiring. I got massive respect for like professional streamers. Like, man, you think just standing up here and talking into a mic is like really easy and doesn't require any work, but it's really exhausting, which is not something I like expected when I first started. Yeah. Burrito Boys says, I'm jealous of that organization though. Which organization? I'm not a very organized person, so I doubt it has anything to do with me. Unless you mean the Legos in the back, which, yes, it's quite organized. Thank you. So let's get started on this here. So first we get to build Steve. Was there another bag I was supposed to open? No. Oh, here he is. I thought I could not find his head, but maybe. Oh, those sorters. Yeah. It's way more efficient for selling. This is a discussion I've had with people before, who keep all their Legos that they sell in bins or in Ziploc bags. The drawers are honestly such a good investment for selling because you can barcode them and you just go straight to the drawer and you know what to do. If you're sorting through all of these Ziploc, I mean, if you're like rifling through all of these little Ziploc bags, then you're not really it's going to take you a long time to pack an order. But with these, I mean, you know, we can pack a 1,000-piece order in, you know, 15 minutes. So it's really fantastic to have. Assist Official says, I've invested $3,000 in Earth 2. Might have been a dumb move, but hey, that's a lot of money. Yeah, either you're going to be really wealthy or you're going to be down $3,000. Let me know how it goes. I'm very curious. I don't have $3,000, so I will not be investing in that. But nonetheless, pretty cool. Plus, if I had $3,000, I would probably buy $3,000 worth of Lego. At least for now. Maybe in the future, I will get something else. I definitely want to expand and diversify my portfolio. So maybe in the future, Evan and I will start another business or something. I know we both want to do that, but not super sure on what. And even if I was, I don't know if I would say it on stream. So, okay, Llama 1 complete. Pretty cool. Now I assume we're going to build Llama number 2. Fun Brick Creation says, I have some of the big parts in Ziplocs and the higher quantity parts like hundreds of 1x1 tiles as plates as I parted out some of the art sets, which boosted my part count up a lot. Yeah, that's totally understandable. I mean, we have bins that we dump really high quantities of stuff in. Excuse me. Dunder Mifflin Brick Co. Says, do you do anything with Bitcoin or crypto in general? No, but that's not because I don't have faith in it. Crypto is definitely the way to go in terms of how I think future currency will work. I don't know if it will be Bitcoin specifically. I don't. That's the same thing with Earth 2. I agree with the concept, but I don't know if it will specifically be Earth 2 that is what breaks into the market. So as far as cryptocurrency goes, I wanted to get into it when I was younger. Back when it was like $300, I went to my dad and I was like, hey, can I have some money? And he was like, show me some proof that this is worth something. And I was like, I'm really lazy. So I didn't. Which was a total waste of opportunity because I probably could have bought a bunch of Bitcoin back when it was like $300 and I would be very wealthy right now. But no, I don't deal with any crypto at the moment. I don't do too much trading. I don't have the I would rather put my capital into Just a Brick in the Bucket for the moment. In the future, once Just a Brick in the Bucket starts generating more revenue and I start taking home some profit, I will diversify and make a portfolio and start doing that. But it's more profitable for me to put any capital I have into here, at least for now. Eventually, that will no longer be the case. But yeah, so come back in a year or two, hopefully a year or two, and we can rediscuss my stock. JB says got some Dogecoin. Yes, of course. You know what you're doing. It's Elon Musk's favorite currency. But yeah, my mic clip is not on. But yeah, I personally don't own any crypto right now. Our DoorDasher is approaching. I have the window open, so I shall know when they arrive, and we shall eat some sushi. I hope you have all prepared your sushi at home, so you may join me in eating the sushi, and we shall rate the sushi and perform a sushi analysis and be happy that we have sushi. I'm really starting to go crazy. Like, back to the streaming. There's that one guy on Twitch that's been streaming for like 30 days or something like that, nonstop, for charity. And like, obviously he's been sleeping, but he still sleeps on camera, and he's just always on camera, and that takes some dedication right there. I couldn't do that. Brick on Block says, I thought about buying some Dogecoin. Should I do it? I mean, you just got to time. You got to time the market. And I'm not a financial advisor. My personal financial advisor says that cryptocurrency is a waste of money, but he can have some hot takes sometimes. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. I disagree with that, but so long as you don't put all your money in it and you understand that there's a very high risk, you have to treat it as any other risk or speculation, because you're not investing, you're speculating on it. Unless you know, unless you've done analytics on it and you know that it's going to go up, then you are not investing, you're speculating, right? You're using emotions, feelings, and gut, which is different from investing. When you're using investing, you use technical analysis or qualitative analysis to try and figure out whether or not something is worth your investment, right? And with Bitcoin and other cryptos, I feel like that's very difficult to do. And even if you do it, it is not always super accurate because it just fluctuates so much. So you have to understand that you're speculating, and be okay with the fact that you might lose all of your money or lose whatever it is you put in it. My dad was grabbed the sushi and is bringing it around. One sec here. I'll be right back. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you filming right now?
Yeah, I'm live. Thank you, though. Alrighty, we got our sushi. So I'm gonna finish this step here and then go eat. Or, well, sit down and eat and try and work on this. But I needed to stretch my legs a little bit, so I got up. And we're still at 28 people after, how long have we been live? 2 hours and 11 minutes. That's pretty good. So thank you all who have been tuned in this whole time. Dunder Mifflin says, I've never used a food delivery service. I do live 45 minutes out of town, though, so that may be why. Yeah, that's true. There are hundreds of restaurants within like a minute or two of us, so that probably contributes to it. Although, then again, you could argue that that is a reason to just go pick it up ourselves. So, I certainly spend too much money on food delivery services. Although I have cut back a lot, I have started cooking my own meals again. So, I am a functional adult. But for a while, I was spending way too much money on eating out. And I still probably spend more than I should, but baby steps. What am I doing now? Okay. Alright, we are almost done with this little page here. I don't know what this... I think this is like the trading counter. I don't know. Do these actually spawn in Minecraft, like a structure like this? Because I thought the wandering traders just like show up, right? I don't think that they come from a place or anything like that. Okay, there we are. Let's inspect the sushi here. Hopefully they gave me soy sauce. JB says, I've delivered far more meals than I have had delivered. Former Domino's driver here. Yeah, I worked for Z Pizza for about 3 months. I hated it. I don't like Z Pizza. The smell still just makes me nauseous. Not that I dislike Z Pizza as a company. I dislike that specific Z Pizza. They sealed that really well. Okay, that was like right into the mic, so I hope you guys are still alive after that. And for any headphone users, I'm very sorry. Okay, we got chopsticks. And we got a bag of goodies that includes soy sauce and fake wasabi, and more soy sauce and ginger. So I'm going to eat the smelt ones and get some food in me because I can feel my blood pressure dying. But Funbrick Creations asks, what kind of sushi did you buy? I got some salmon smelt roe here. That is the little balls here. I love these. They're expensive though. These are like $8, but I love them. And I got some sort of Americanized eel roll here. I really like eel, so yeah. What else was said here? JB says, I like the job. It paid well, though I did have more than one customer have me drive 20 minutes to the desert for a $2 tip. Yeah, I can understand that. We had this one customer who will remain unnamed. We'll just call her Karen, because that's what she was. Not to insult anyone named Karen, but yeah. But I very much struggle with remembering numbers, especially like credit card numbers, having to type it in. And I was like brand new, so I hadn't developed the number pad memory yet. And I had to ask her to repeat her credit card number like 3 times. And at the end, she was like, you stupid people with your minimum wage IQ. And I was just like, thank you very much. I'm very glad that you enjoy our services. Not a very nice lady, but I went and delivered her food, and she didn't tip, and yeah. I'm not cut out to be in the service industry. Hopefully you guys can't hear me chewing. This mic is very... Do I have... like... Yes. This mic is very sensitive. So... Hopefully you guys can't hear me chewing and swallowing. I have been told that you can hear me swallowing water, so I imagine this is worse. This is so good. I love that stuff. I wish that it was a assist official says we just get some ASMR, it's fine. Yeah, exactly. We should start a I made this joke to Evan, and I was like, you know, Evan, if you really want to become a sellout and make tons of money on YouTube, all we need to do is make Lego ASMR. And unfortunately, he didn't fly for that. But I'm still of the opinion that we could make tens of thousands of dollars doing that. But I don't think either of us have the voice for it. JB says, I had a person order when I was working at McDonald's. That was a total jerk. They kept ordering when I asked them to wait a moment. I was grabbing the cash from the order before and wouldn't be able to hear them, so I ended up muting the headset until I was finished. Yeah, there's just some people. There was this one lady who lived like outside of our delivery radius, but the manager was like, it's a really big order. It was like 6 or 7 pizzas, and Z Pizza is pretty expensive, so like that's over $100. Like, you know, that's like $150. So he was like, go ahead and take it to them anyway, because it's like that'll be a huge tip, and that's a lot of pizza. So I drove all the way out there, and I remember they had also ordered a salad, right? And I had grabbed the incorrect dressing for the salad because they weren't labeled. We basically just had the blue cheese and the ranch right next to each other, and those two dressings look very similar to each other. And goodbye, Burrito Boys. Great having you. And I grabbed the wrong dressing, and I went over there, and I deliver it. I get back. They call, basically as soon as I get back, after like a 20-minute drive, right? And they're like, you messed it up, da-da-da-da. And I was like, I'm very sorry. Would you like me to credit you a refund or issue you a coupon? And they're like, no, I would like you to get the sauce and drop it off. It's your responsibility as the restaurant to do that. And I was like, I'm really sorry, but you're ordinarily out of our delivery radius, da-da-da-da. But I can issue you a refund for the salad, or a credit for the future. And they didn't want that, so they just continued going on and on about how I needed to drop it off. And they were being a huge pain, so the manager was out at the time. It was just me and some coworkers, and there was one coworker there who just like, you know, there's always that one coworker. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, I'm sure you've had that coworker. And they were like, no, you need to go drop it off, right? So me being like the employee that's only been there for like 4 days, goes, drives 20 minutes, drops it off, and comes back, and then I guess they had made another call saying I was taking too long, and I don't understand how someone can be like that. Anyway, I missed another story here. JB was saying they got all ticked when I asked them to repeat their order. They then repeated it all angry, one syllable at a time. Then finished it with, that will be all. And that was the livid voice I've ever heard. So I told them their total in a super happy tone and said that will be all at the end. They lost it. Cussed me out all over. That is fantastic. I wish that I had the self-esteem to do that. I hate these 1x1 little pillars because I can never get them straight. It always feels like they're tilted. All right, I need to hurry if I want to get this done because actually I don't really have anything else to do this evening. Dunder Mifflin Brick Co. says, I was once a receptionist, enough said. Yeah, that's a tough job. That's hard. Yeah, I don't know if I'd have the patience for that. Maybe now. I'm much older than I was back when I worked at Z Pizza. I was like 16 when I worked at Z Pizza. I've had a lot more experience with colorful people now, so maybe I could do that, but it still would not be my favorite thing. Funbrick Creation says, how is it using chopsticks? I don't use them as I've never had success in using them. I don't know. I'm just kind of used to it. I really like Asian food, so I kind of learned to do that. In a past relationship, we used to go out to an Asian place all the time, and like every Friday, and so I just kind of picked up how to use them through exposure. So, yeah. Okay, I believe we are now building the top, like, wool covering thing for this. I didn't even see that you double sent the message, so don't worry about it. Oh no, I dropped a piece. JB says, also had a guy freak out at me because I couldn't make out that he was saying ice. He ended up spelling it for me, saying I-S-E, a bag of ice. That's amazing. Spelling out ice with an S. You know what they say, the Asian food. Did I say Mexican? We used to go out for Asian food all the time, and that's where I learned how to use chopsticks. I don't think that there are any South American cultures that use chopsticks. Although I could be wrong. If anyone knows anything differently, I would be very interested to hear that. What was I just saying? Oh yeah, sometimes the most intellectually challenged individuals believe that they are the smartest people, and yeah, it can be difficult to disabuse them of that notion. Oh, which one would I prefer? Well, I don't know, probably Asian food, because there's like such a diversity there. I mean, I like pho, I like ramen, I like sushi, I like American Chinese food. I've never actually had like ethnically Chinese food, but I would be very interested in trying it. So, you know, I feel like there's such a diversity there. But I mean, Mexican has some really good flavors too. But if I had to just eat one, I would probably pick Asian food. Dunder Mifflin says, I've tried to block that portion of life from memory. There are names that still give me nightmares. Some of them are those people. Yeah, I understand. JB says, this McDonald's was in Arkansas, so I have all kinds of stories. Yeah, I've heard that the South is a wild place, especially the deep South. Okay, I'm going to have a couple bites of sushi now. Assuming I can open this without making a huge mess everywhere. Soy sauce, please. Thank you. So, and there I am talking to the soy sauce. I'm definitely starting to lose it. But yeah, I would definitely want to try on Asian food. I would definitely want to try actual ethnic Chinese food, and I guess I could try just cooking it myself. I definitely could do that, but I would like to try it from somewhere that actually serves it. Funbreak Creation says, "What is your favorite type of takeaway? If I had to choose just one style, I would choose sushi." My favorite style of takeaway. I mean, sushi is expensive. That's, at least here, sushi is expensive. I mean, this is $14, and then those were $8. So I just spent $22 on this, which is a lot of money, and then plus delivery, obviously. But we'll ignore that. We'll assume I went and picked it up. I mean, that's still a lot of money for food. So, I know it's not Chinese. I mean, it's not Asian. But Chipotle is pretty good as far as takeaway goes. Their burrito bowls are amazing. Wow. I told them extra spicy on the mayo. They delivered. Wow. Wow. Goodbye, Assist Official. Get some sleep before you have to wake up tomorrow. Funbrick says it's expensive here in Australia, but it's good because it's a food you don't have to eat straight away, as most of sushi isn't hot. Yeah, that's definitely true as well. This is so good. It's been a long time since I've had sushi. Okay. Let's get back to this. We're now on to bag 2. Wow, that is spicy. Poke bowls are also another good one. Not really fast food. I'm not actually a huge fast food person. And it's not to say that I don't eat it. I do. But it's not my favorite. Although I do very much enjoy Popeyes. If I had to pick a fast food place, it would be Popeyes. Unless we're talking about like the higher end fast food, like obviously, like places like Five Guys are a different order of fast food. But if we're just talking like the rank and file fast food, then I would have to put Popeyes up there. And I suppose we could return to the age-old argument of whether or not Chipotle is fast food. If you were not here 4 or 5 streams ago, Evan and I got into a debate over it got very heated debate with you guys over whether or not Chipotle is fast food. And I argue, actually I forgot what I argued, so I guess it didn't matter, but it was, I remember that it was a very good argument. Funbrick's Creation says, in the long-distance future, my dream location to visit is the U.S. and try some of the different styles of food here. Yeah, the great thing about the U.S. is that you can really pretty much get a bastardized version of any culture here. I mean, it's all Americanized, more or less. But you can still get something, pretty close, all in one location. So, I've only had Chipotle once, not been able to try Taco Bell yet. Many here hate Taco Bell, but I'm actually curious and want to try it. Fidel, you have to understand that Taco Bell is to Mexican as Mega Bloks is to as Lepin. Is there anything like worse than Lepin? As those little $5 brick building packs that they sell at the grocery store, as those are to Mexican or South American food. So you have to understand that you are eating that it is only similar vaguely. They have, I don't even know how to describe Taco Bell to somebody who hasn't eaten Taco Bell before. They have Mexican pizza. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it's basically just 2 tostada shells with beans in the middle, and then they put cheese and tomato sauce on top. That should give you an idea. They also have Dorito. They have tacos made from Dorito chips. They have these things called a chalupa. I have no idea whether that's a real food or not. Honestly, I feel like the chalupas are a good concept, but it's Taco Bell, so they're not actually good. But it's a thicker flatbread. It's not like a normal tortilla. It's a lot more like pita bread, and slightly sweet. And they basically pack it with the same stuff that you would find in a normal taco. And that's actually not a bad concept. But when you get it from Taco Bell, of course it's at Taco Bell quality. And that is a problem. But I would very much be interested in making one of those myself, and I think that it would taste rather good. But just like their the Crunchwrap Supreme is a very good concept. Okay, Fidel says chalupas are real, but are from central Mexico. I'm from northwestern Mexico, and I have no idea what it is. Okay. So I take it then in Mexico, food culture doesn't move around a lot. Because, like, for example, here in America, you can find Southern food all over the U.S. You'll find the best Southern food in the South, but you can find it anywhere. So is that less the case in Mexico, that people move around and bring their food with them? Also, okay, they discontinued the Mexican pizza. Yeah, I heard that they changed their menu a lot. Now, I will say, the one thing that I do like from Taco Bell, which is rather odd because I hate the non-Taco Bell version of it, is their Mountain Dew, like, Slurpee thing. I don't like Mountain Dew. I've never liked Mountain Dew as a soda, but I actually really like the Slurpee version of it, which is rather strange. Taco Bell also depends on which one you go to. One near my house is terrible, but the one on a different side of town is much better. Yeah, when I say terrible, I don't necessarily mean it tastes bad. I mean it's terrible in that, I mean, have you looked at their menu? It speaks for itself. I mean, a lot of it tastes good, but I mean, come on, it's Mexican pizza. So, yeah. Fidel, are you sad that that you'll never get to try a Mexican pizza? JB says, I love Mountain Dew. I even won a contest for decorating my dorm room with Mountain Dew stuff. Wow, that's... Yeah, Mountain Dew has a lot of caffeine. I don't do too well. I used to actually do a lot better with caffeine when I was a teenager, but it really hits me now. And then I crash. Like, caffeine, I don't know, I don't really have a very fast metabolism, but with caffeine I do. and it will hit me, go completely through my system within like 30 minutes. I'll be completely bouncing off the walls and like crazy for like those 30 minutes. And then I will just crash and need to take a nap immediately. Yeah, I try to avoid super caffeinated stuff now. Son of a Brick says, I mean terrible as in actually terrible because the employees don't know what they're doing. Yeah, that is definitely also an important part. Fidel says, no, we do also have all Mexican food types all across the country. But for example, chalupas are very prominent in central Mexico. Here in my city, it would be a bit less common to see chalupas being sold. Okay. That makes sense. At Son of a Brick, I have power rankings of all the Taco Bells in my area. Fidel says, I define Taco Bell as weird Tex-Mex combination. Yeah, Tex-Mex is really good, though. There's this fantastic place near my old apartment. It's only like a 5-10 minute drive away, and I haven't gone back, which I really should. But I used to go to this place all the time, and they had, it was owned by like a really like, it wasn't like Americanized Mexican family. Like the family was, really almost everybody in there was Mexican. And I'm not trying to like racially stereotype or anything. I'm just saying it was like really good food. But they had kind of taken a lot of the Tex-Mex type stuff and added it in, and it was so good. It's fantastic. And also it's super cheap. A taco is like $2.50, which for here is like unheard of. So absolutely fantastic. My friend and I would go like all the time and get just load up with like 6, 7, 8 tacos and take them home. That was so good. JB, that is a problem. JB says, that's funny, Paul. The reason I won the contest was an accidental caffeine overdose. I drank a 5-hour energy, felt no effect, and drank a Red Bull an hour later. Thought I was going to die. I drank them to get energy for a college project. Never did the project that day, but I got a test flavor can of Dew. Oh, wow. That sucks. Yeah, that's nothing to mess with. Caffeine can mess you up. It is not something that like people think of as messing them up, but it can. What was the test flavor though? No, JB, I'm partially judging you. I've done something kind of similar not that long ago. I have ADHD, and so I take a stimulant because of that. And I had been engaging in adult beverage partakement, and the next day I had a horrible hangover, and I was like, I'll just take my ADHD medication, and that will wake me up. And I imagine it's probably pretty similar to overdosing on caffeine. I was just destroyed for the entire day. So I'm not judging you too hard. I've made plenty of stupid decisions. Funbrick says, I enjoy making my own tacos at home. My favorite taco is chicken, lettuce, cheese, and whatever sauce is available. Plus, my favorite fizzy drinks are either Pepsi Max or Coke No Sugar. Yeah, I don't like the no sugar stuff. Dr. Pepper is my favorite soda. Although there's this one place. What is the soda brand? It's a place called Mod Pizza, and they sell this black cherry soda that I haven't been able to find in stores. But it's super good. Son of a Brick says, There's a really good small Mexican chain in my area. It is slightly Americanized. It's set up to be a really fancy, expensive restaurant, but it is really cheap and huge portions. That's awesome. Funbrick Creation says, I make lots of stupid decisions and I never drink alcohol. That's a good policy. I don't drink a lot. I almost never get to the point where I'm hungover. That may have been the only time I've ever been hungover. Yeah, I think so. So that probably had to do with my stupid decision. But yeah, probably a good decision to just not drink in the first place. Hello, welcome. You taught me how to pronounce your name last time, and I completely forgot. I'm just going to call you Mecca. Funbrick Creation says, I'm the opposite, as I'm not a fan of normal Coke or Pepsi. Yeah, a lot of people aren't. JB's Brick Kiln says, same here, lol. Funbrick Creation says, I'm not interested in alcohol at all. Yeah, that's totally fine. Mesnatost. Okay, I can remember that. Yeah, I'm less interested in drinking to party or get drunk or whatever. I like the taste of some beverages. I like the taste of like high quality, actually like good tequila, not like from mixing into stuff, but like sipping tequila. And I like rum and Coke and some wines, but I'm not a huge wine person. But that's pretty much it. I see you, son of a prick. I don't know how monetization works, so I don't want to say it. But I don't really do that. Incredibly rarely. I don't keep any in the house. It's something I'll occasionally do with a friend, but I react quite poorly. I have a allergy to it, so very rarely. But no, I don't usually do those things, alcohol or anything else, because I like to focus during my day because I have enough trouble focusing in the first place. Okay, we're almost done with this, I think. We're on page 35, so fantastic. I'm going to have some more sushi. Thunder Mifflin says, would I be better off parting out 2 higher lot count sets or 4 of a few different lower price, lower lot count sets, each with a similar part out value? At that point, it doesn't matter. Whatever gives you the most lots for the least price is what I would say. Fidel says, I once read an article that says Mexican Coca-Cola sold in the U.S. isn't real Mexican Coke. It's made specifically for the American market, but I haven't read more about it to see if it's true. Yeah, I believe the only difference between Mexicoke and regular Coke is that it uses real sugar cane instead of high fructose corn syrup. So I think that is the only difference. Fidel says, although I've tried American Coke and it tastes somewhat flavorless to me. Yeah, I don't really drink a ton of Coke. Like I said, I like rum and Coke, but then you've got the rum in it. I also sometimes add pepper to it, which I suppose not a lot of people do, but I think that it makes it taste better. Fidel, I would not be surprised. Mexican Coke tastes way better than American stuff. I was able to compare last year, and there's a big difference. Yeah, I mean, I'm a 2-3 hour drive from the Mexican border, so I could always just hop across and try something. But I have heard that the Tijuana San Diego crossing area is not a very good place to be. So maybe I would instead take a plane further in. Oh, here they are. But I would love to visit Mexico at some point. I just want to travel. There's a lot of places that I want to go. I really want to go... Oh, a piece of rice made it onto this Lego. I want to go to Vietnam. Evan has been there before. I want to hike the... At some point in my life, a bucket list item is to hike the Silk Road in its entirety. So start in Italy and go along the whole thing through Turkey, or start in Constantinople, go all the way through Turkey, through Iran, through the whole Middle East, and end up in I can't pronounce the city name, but I think it's like, you know, I'm not even gonna try, a city in China where the Silk Road ends. But of course that is a very difficult area. So there is always that to consider as well. But it is a bucket list item. We say Tijuana is pretty ugly. They don't make a good image for the whole country. Yeah, I feel like in America, a lot of people look at the border states, and right, is it provinces or states? I think it's states in Mexico. Constantinople, isn't that what I said? In Turkey. Yeah, used to be in the Roman Empire, well, the Eastern Roman Empire. That's where the Silk Road starts. And then you go, and the name that I couldn't come up with is the end destination in China. But yeah, I feel like, hello and welcome back, Burrito Boys. I feel like in America, a lot of people, because they only have exposure to the border states in Mexico, they assume that that is how the whole country is. And I mean, if you assumed that the whole America was like, you know, some areas in the South, you would assume that America was a third. I mean, there are places in America that are like third world countries. So I think that that's kind of unfair. Istanbul, not Constantinople. Oh, they might be giants. No, sorry, I didn't get that. It'll always be Constantinople in my mind. Yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. I've always wanted to go to Iran, Persia, and that's something that is not actually that. I mean, you have to be careful, but it's not actually that bad. So long as you go with a tour company, things rarely happen to people so long as they're not stupid. So that's a place that I kind of want to go in the near future. And that is along the trail. It's a fun but dumb song. Don't know if they wrote it, but know they have a great version of it. Okay, I'll have to look that up later. Okay, we are nearing completion here and nearing the end of the stream. So, if anyone has any questions, I mean, I suppose I'll do a wrap-up at the end, but... Fidel says, I live in Sinaloa, a very worldwide famous state for certain illegal organization. So I always try to expose our good stuff, because we are known only for one thing, even in Mexico. Yeah, I mean, I can totally see that. People just like to stereotype. I mean, you can go anywhere in the world and realize that people over-exaggerate a lot for their own purposes. So, yeah. Funbrick says, how's the current build going? We are almost done here. So, an update. This is the trading post here. We've got some llamas. We've got Llama and Llama and Steve. And next, looks like we're building like a little fallen log or something in the middle. And then I think we're done. And I'm not sure when I'm going to continue building these. Maybe just on streams where it's just myself. JB's Brick Kiln says, I'd love to go to Germany and one day to Dubai. Yeah, I have relatives in Germany, and one of my relatives owns a farm. And I have thought about maybe going and working on his farm because I think that'd be kind of a cool experience. Dunder says, got a boogie, happy trails. Happy trails to you too. Have a good rest of your day / night. But no, Dubai would be super cool to go to. Definitely. But I believe it's kind of ridiculously expensive as well. So there is that to consider. Okay, so I think this is like a mine here. Right, you've got like a trading post and then you've got like the mine. Okay, now I gotta build a TNT. Gonna blow it all up with TNT. I think that we should release an official LEGO stop motion Minecraft parody. And of course, using my amazing singing voice, I will sing. Sunray Brick says, I've always wanted to go to Thailand. Yeah, the golden circle of backpacking is kind of where I want to go, which is Thailand through Vietnam, through Cambodia, kind of that area is a super popular like backpacking area, and I would love to go there. I think that would be super cool. Okay. Okay, what did I miss? I have pieces, again, that I shouldn't have. Oh. There's still minifigs, I think. Where did I miss building these? Okay, I missed building a minifig somewhere. Ah, here we are. Okay. Got to build a villager and skeleton. Funbrick Creation says, my other dream would be to visit as many places as I can of all the features on the different on all of the architecture sets. That would be really cool. I don't know if you saw our video or not, but we have all of the Skyline sets up, and it'd be definitely cool to visit all of those. JB says, my dad has done ancestry research and found the very small town that our ancestors came from. Still a tiny small town to this day. I'd love to visit it. That is super cool. I wonder if the people there would find it cool to talk to you. My dad has done a lot of ancestral research, although I have not really paid a lot of attention to it because it was mostly when I was much younger. So I'm not exactly sure where we come from. I believe it is a mixture of Germany and England, but I'm not super sure where. So I would like to know. Now, perhaps I shall ask. Okay, where do these minifigs go? Come on. Come on. Clip in, you stupid bow. There we go. Okay. It doesn't suggest minifig placement. Let's look at the front here. Okay. Skeleton kind of goes... I'll stick him like right here. And one of the llamas like right here. Ah. The llamas have feet. Okay. And then I will put the other one right here. Gotta pose your minifigs so it looks cool. Okay. All right. Here we are. Something just fell. Oh, it was the TNT. Okay, I'll get that later. So here we are. All finished. Kind of a cool little trading outpost. We've got two llamas, or sorry, one llama and one llama, as I'm choosing to call them. We have Minecraft Steve, and we have a skeleton here. I believe this is supposed to be a cave and a trading post, so yeah, pretty cool. And then over on this one, we have a bee farm with another villager and a crazy bee lady. So yeah, let's see here. What have I missed? Son of a Brick says, I also want to go to Japan, but I hear it's one of the more expensive countries. Like I saw a video for the price of a week in Japan, you can stay a month in Thailand. Yeah, that's totally true. You can probably even stay longer in Thailand. Thailand is dirt cheap. You can survive on like $3 to $5 a day in Thailand. Not super comfortably, but for like backpacking and staying in hostels, it's totally doable. One of my dreams is to go on an RV and have a massive road trip covering North America, like from Alaska down to Cancun and everything in between. That is what my parents are currently doing. Well, they're right here right now, but they are trying to visit, I don't know if they're trying to visit all 50 states, but they're trying to visit a ton of them. So during most of the year, they are RVing. Scott Smith says, grandfather's side of the family came from England, arrived in 1648. Wow, that's quite early in the colonial history. Do you know where they came from in England? Like where in England and what their family tree was there. I have no idea if he's watching anymore. Excuse me. Funbrick Creations says, my other more realistic dream will be traveling around my own country, Australia in an RV. Australia is a super cool place. I'd definitely like to visit there. Scott Smith says, looks like London. Henry Smith was a doctor. Okay, cool. But you don't have anything going back. We don't have anything going back to like the Middle Ages or anything. Do we? Okay. So, unless my dad replies real quick, because now I'm curious. We're going to be ending pretty soon here. We've managed to get through 2 Lego sets. We still have 4 left. We have the Nether Bridge, the underwater one. Oh, Henry, did you just show up? I'm just about to end. I'm so sorry. We're ending in like a minute here. and we got the cave, and we got the chicken coop for next time. But today we managed to get through both of these. Sorry, Henry. I might do a poll. I'll have to talk to Evan and see what time zones lots of people are in, so that we can maybe alternate streams and do them at different times, so that more people can show up. It'd be nice to do one at like 10 our time, so that way people in Europe can tune in. So yeah, that is something we would do. JB says, great stream. Thank you so much. Henry says, next week I'm going to be early. Awesome. We usually start at 3 o'clock p.m. Our time, so PST, if you would like to join us. That is... They listened when I said extra spicy. Wow. I need some water. Funbrick says, well, it would only take 4 or 5 days to get from the bottom of Australia to the top. Well, yeah, but I mean, I assume the more logical thing to do would be go around the edge. Also, I have a passing interest in geology, and Australia is a super cool place geologically because of how remarkably well preserved it is. You can see so much of Gondwanan, which was the kind of sub-supercontinent that Africa, Antarctica, and Australia, New Zealand, Oceania, that whole area used to be. You can see so much history there, and also the oldest rocks in the world are found in Australia. So I don't believe that you can actually go to the actual location. I believe it's protected, but still very cool that the oldest rocks in the world come from, or are still left intact in Australia. This is a really good Nova documentary series if you're interested in learning about your nation's like super ancient history. It's called let's see here. It's super cool. I love Nova, and that is one of my favorite Nova episodes. But if you're interested, it is called Australia First 4 Billion Years. It's super cool. What kind of stuff has happened in Australia. But yeah, that has been everything. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We had a lot of very fun discussions today. We talked about Star Wars and physics and lots of other stuff. And we managed to get 2 sets done, which is fantastic. We are currently at 3 hours, so that is a record for me, I think. 3 hours, at least. I'm quite tired, but it was super fun. If you have not joined our Discord, you can interact with our community on Discord. There's a link down in the description and in the description of every video. There are super awesome people there who love to answer questions and can answer basically any question. There's also a trading chat there if you're looking for specific Legos, and there's tons of dedicated channels for all different kinds of Lego-related content and non-Lego-related content. So feel free to check out there. If you want to support our channel and love what we do, you can, of course, go ahead on Patreon and support us there if that's something you're willing to do. We value every dollar that we receive, and you can get special content that is released weekly, kind of just our general life stuff, sometimes Lego stuff, getting to see things before people do. Like, for example, our patrons recently found out about a really cool thing that we recently bought that I believe has not yet been mentioned on a vlog. So that is super cool. The rest of you will find out about that in a little bit, but if you want to see now, you can go join our Patreon. Yada, yada, yada. Patreon cool. Discord, like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Without further ado, goodbye.